on the trails again. Just feel good to be out. And it's a beautiful morning here. I'm up in the Angus Glens in Scotland. More specifically Glen Doll. I say it's just above freezing, but I'm also at the shelter of a northerly wind that's blowing today. So at the moment it's really pleasant, lovely and quiet. And it's just great to be able to hear just the sounds of the river and the bird song again. Lovely. So, my little excursion then. I am, as I say, in Glen Doll. And my plan is to do a couple of Munros, Dreish and Mayar, which still look to have a nice little bit of snow on them. And then from there, as you come up Glen Clova, as you drive up Glen Clova, on the left hand side of you there's a long ridge that comes right the way off Dreish all the way down. And so my plan is really to follow that ridge all the way down, how many miles it is, and probably have a bivvy somewhere out along the way. This morning Judith dropped me off at Glen Doll car park, and my route is taking me through the forest to start off with, which has still got a lot of damage from Storm Hour, and you can still see the effects of that well over a year ago. And then I'm ascending up to Mayar via Corrie Fee, which is a lovely corrie, absolutely beautiful. So that's just ahead of me. Then when I get onto the tops, it's going to be a nice stroll all across the tops and all the way down that ridge towards the end of Glen Clova. I'm also as well going for a bit of a lighter weight winter camp, so more of that later, but I've tried to keep my weight down a little bit more than I normally would. Well, that was a great little ascent up through Corrie Fee. Nice path. It kind of wends its way through some steep ground, so it was really pleasant. It's clouded over a bit and a few spots of snow, but it's still looking bright. And we're going to head up onto the plateau now, so I think we might hit a bit more wind as well. It's pretty windy, but that sun is beautiful. On top of Dreish, a little bit out of the wind. It's blowing a hoolie and the mist comes down, but the sun kind of keeps poking through, which is really nice. It's very atmospheric, but I'm not going to hang around here very long. But now I can just see the clouds sort of clearing intermittently. For the last couple of hours was a bit worse than I was expecting. Had really strong winds. There's sort of a fine sort of ice particles blasting into you. Anyway, it's done, and now lovely sunshine back again on the hills. Right, heading down there. Get cracking. Okay, I'm in my tent, all set up, ready to go to sleep. I got here, I don't know, maybe about 3/4 an hour after it got dark. Found a reasonable spot, just a little bit down out of the wind. But it's going to be a cold night, which is good test, I suppose, for the equipment. So a little bit about the setup, because I said it right at the start of the video that I was going to try and see if I could come up with a lighter weight winter setup that worked just for kind of an overnight trip like this, not for anything prolonged. Normally in winter I would use my Vango Force 10 tent, and the reason for that's just that it's much more stable in strong winds and quieter. It cuts the condensation much better, and it's really nice and roomy inside, so it's a nice comfortable tent to spend the long hours of winter inside. But of course the downside is it weighs 3.2 kilos, and when you're carrying a lot of extra kit already in winter, so I've got crampons and ice axe, and I've got this much thicker warmer top, thicker sleeping bag. If you're not careful, your pack can end up pretty heavy. So I wondered if I could do a little bit of a lighter setup. So this is what I'm trying out. So I've got the outer from Lanshan only, and then I don't know if you can see, probably can't, but I've got the footprint for the Lanshan tent, so the ground sheet for the Lanshan tent, and I'm in a bivvy bag as well. So the reason why I've not used the inner for the Lanshan is I found in winter when I used it last year that first of all it was just really cold, and secondly also I got a lot of condensation on the bottom of it, so my sleeping bag got wet, which of course in winter is not ideal. So I'm going to try this instead, and the weight's about the same, so the combined weight of the outer bivvy bag and the ground sheet is just over 1 kilo, so substantially lighter than my Vango Force 10. So yeah, I'm going to see how it goes. I'll see how it copes with the condensation, see if I'm warm enough, and I'll report back in the morning. Brews on. It's usually in winter, long cold nights, pretty decent frost overnight, a lot of, well, you see how the inside of the tent's frosted up. So how did that arrangement work? Well, there's some pluses and minuses. I mean, first of all, sleeping bag's completely dry, which is a definite plus. But did they have the most comfortable night? Not really. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't helped by the pitch. The pitch was more on the slope than I thought it was. So I was on the move all night. I kept moving down the slope, and the mat that I'm on, my thermarest, just kept sliding over the top of the ground sheet that I'd put down. So I was just, I felt like I was constantly on the move all night. So I would describe it as restless, but I was warm enough. And yeah, you know it is. You get intermittent sleep, don't you? It's not the best sleep, but it's intermittent sleep. But I know after I've had my brew, I'm going to feel a lot better. So that's first job. So you can just make out here my little spot last night. Just about. Oh, a bit of a breeze blowing this morning. I'm going to get back in the tent and get packed up, I think. Well, what an absolutely glorious morning. It's cold though, proper hard frost, but it's just really great to be out in this early morning light. So I'm just approaching now the Airlie Monument, which is the end of the ridge that runs down from Dreish Mayar all alongside Glen Clova. So when I reach here, I'll be dropping down then from that ridge down into the glen. But behind me, you can see Dreish Mayar and all that ridge that I've been walking along over the last day, looking really lovely in that early morning light. So yeah, it's just a really nice walk. I've seen nobody again in the last 24 hours at all. So it's just a great place to be able to get away from it. And a lovely part of the world. Right, bit of descent and then back into Corrie for some second breakfast. So just reflecting on the camp again, really, some extra thoughts. I mean, would I have been more comfortable in my Vango tent? Yeah, I think I probably would. The slight issue I found was that, to stop any drafts from coming through the Lanshan, I had the poles lower to the ground. But that, of course, had the knock-on effects that it meant that when I was laid flat, I found that at times my head was touching the fly sheet, which of course never happens when I pitch it in summer. I never have that issue at all. But then again, if the weather's nice, if I know I've got a good focus, I'm just out for the odd night, would I do what I did last night? Yeah, probably would actually, because I do notice the weight difference in the sack. That 2 kilos does make a difference. So swings and roundabouts. So I think if the weather was good, yeah, I'd probably give that another go. Maybe find a bit of a flatter pitch though. Yeah.